Hi guys! Today we're going to continue working on my Jeep camper build. We're going to start where we left off last week, in that we're going to first take out these drawers so that we can then remove this centerpiece and this top piece here. The centerpiece we're going to cut a vent in and make it a little shorter at the back, and then we're going to hopefully start cutting this platform on this side, the bed platform, out, cutting it and using a template to get it to fit. And then we may not be screwing it down today. We're gonna see, but we do want to make sure we have that piece cut, because after that we're gonna start working on possibly these side areas here, the boxes that are gonna go over these. So every week it seems like it takes us longer to do things than we anticipate, but we're hoping we can get all that done this weekend. We don't know yet. It depends on if things go smooth or not. We already know we got to make one trip to the hardware store. That always takes up more time. So yeah, we're gonna get started. So to vent the fridge area here, I made a template, and we're just cutting out circles all adjacent to each other here to create a vent. That worked pretty well, the sticker idea. So these are just pre-drills, and now we're going to do the holes.
Fits the hole. Okay, we have this center section in now. We cut the vent holes, got that sanded up, and I'll give it a little cleaner look. I have the trim on here now. See how much nicer that looks? We curved this out here. And then back here, we cut it a little shorter. And then on this side, we routed out this section here because we have some wires and plugs, things like that, that we want to be able to tuck up in there and be hidden. A couple pocket holes that will come in handy later. And then also we're gonna have a fuse block that sits in here, and we realized we actually need to run the wires before we put the drawers and everything back in, so we did that too. And they just go from here where the fuse block is going to go. They're going to run underneath the drawers over to the other side, and then we got some wires coming out over there, and we didn't know how many things we were going to have over there, so we ran like 3 sets of wires. If we end up not using a set or something, that's fine. At least it's there if we need it.
So next we are going to put this fridge platform that goes here back in. And then we're going to start cutting the template for this side here, and hopefully get that in today. Well, good morning guys. Last night we got rained out, so we didn't finish making the template for this bed platform area. But we're going to finish today, and we are almost finished with this cut here.
So the way we make our templates is we just obviously use a piece of cardboard, but then one of Cindy's viewer gave us this idea a long time ago when we were doing the van, and we just took like a cap off a spice container and cut the center of it, and then you can roll this, whoop, keep dropping it, you can roll this along the edge and it follows what you're wanting to cut around, and you just kind of keep doing that until you get everything lined up the way you want it. And then once that's done, you can go in and make a few little fine tune adjustments and stuff like that. That's Cindy's job because she's good at doing that part.
Yeah.
But and that's it. And then once it's done, we line it up on the piece of plywood and trace it out and then cut it and hope it works.
Well, one thing we also do is because a lot of these areas are curved, we'll sand the underside on the edges to match that curve a little bit on the plywood. And you can't see it because it's up under there, but it helps get the edges right up close.
Just puts a little bevel on the bottom of it so it matches the contour of the of whatever we're going around.
Yeah, so we're about to start cutting some plywood. It's hitting right here a little bit. Gosh, that's so close.
Yeah, so this needs to come back a little.
That may do it. How's your side look down there?
This is lined up. I need to take a little more off here.
Okay.
Think it came out good?
We're happy with that. Some tiny gaps, but they don't bother me at all. So we're not going to screw this board down just yet because we got some cubbies that we want to put in here. At least one so that we have access into the drawer below. Moving on. So I think we're ready to start boxing in these side areas here. That's going to give us some extra storage space and some shelving. And we'll do this side as well. We had to bring the fridge in so that we can kind of determine what height this shelf needs to be up here. We want it to be easily accessible from over to the top of this fridge. Because it's going to have drop-ins up here, or we're trying to decide, we haven't decided yet. We're either going to have it hinged or put drop-ins in the top of this so that we have all this storage space down here. So Kevin is cutting this aluminum L bracket, and what he's going to do is put these pieces right over this bolt here by drilling a hole through this, and it'll sit like this. And then in the front here will be a nutsert that a board attaches to. And on that board we'll have a lip that the shelf sits on. There's 3 on each side, and we're going to start with that side there.
So we're just test fitting these brackets that I made. That's going to hold an upright board back here. And then eventually we'll paint these black. I drilled these holes with an oval so they're a little adjustable. So we can adjust this to make sure it's parallel with the upright that's going to be over here. Cindy and I have been working on a template for this speaker to go around for the upright, and we decided to make it out of the actual wood, and the reason why is because the cardboard's too soft and it doesn't give an accurate measurement. But we also used is this a protractor, I guess they call it? I don't know. Anyways, we used this protractor and we used a 13 3/4 inch radius. And then we beveled, you can see we beveled the backside quite a bit on that to get it to fit on here. There still needs to be just a tiny bit of beveling to get this nice and tight where we want it, but that'll be easy to do. And then this is going to be our upright, and I just had to transfer it to, I got to transfer it to this now and cut it out, and then this upright will be done.
I am going through and marking where all my plugs and things like that are going to need to go so that we can then cut out the space for those. We also have a vent that we're putting back here behind the power station. My power station's a Bluetti, and I will talk more about that in another video. But yeah, it's heavy too, so we just keep having to take it in, take it out. That's a workout. Anyway, so look at this. Kevin got the circle cut out, and I think it looks really good.
A lot of sanding.
We have all the pieces cut, and now we've pulled them back out. I'm going to be sanding, priming, and trimming each piece. I've already gotten started on that. I'm going to show you guys how I trim them. This is a birch trim. This particular roll that I purchased is a 1/2 inch, and my tacking iron broke, which is what I would normally use, but you can use a household iron for clothes, and I'm going to use that. I just have to make sure I keep it level and keep it in the center of it so I get the most heat from it. To apply it, this has an adhesive on the back of it. It's dry, it's not tacky or anything when you touch it, but it will become very sticky and transfer onto here with the heat. So, when I'm doing it, like I said, I try to hold it as level as I can, and I make sure it overlaps a little bit on each edge. Then I just take my iron. I'm working from the inside to the outside on this piece. Sometimes I start at the middle. And you'll feel it and even kind of hear it as it adheres. I first start by just getting it stuck on there, first pass. Then what you want to do is tilt the iron a little bit on each edge to make sure it really gets down on those edges. And it's that easy. All you have to do when you're done, you'll have a little bit of a overlap here on the edges of the banding, and you can get rid of it a couple ways. You can buy a trimmer that will run along here and trims it to the size that you want. I don't do that. I just, because I buy the size that is the size of the board, there's so little here that's hanging over that all I have to do is sand it back. And if it is a little more than I want to sand back, I can just take an X-Acto blade and run it along it and cut it. But yeah, this is done. I'm going to cut this little piece off at the end and then continue with the other pieces. Alright guys, this box is done except for the tops. We still have to do the tops for both sides. The electrical, most of it, has been run, and we're almost ready to assemble this side over here. I still want to put some curves right here, round that off a little bit. The reason we didn't go ahead and start assembling it is that this bottom bed platform piece still needs a cutout where I'm going to have a drop-in that allows access to the drawer below. We still have a lot to do, but we are happy with how it's coming along so far. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, please, if you haven't done so already. And I will see you next time. Bye, guys.